Good morning, sweethearts. How y'all doing? It is a beautiful, beautiful day here in Texas. Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful day everywhere. You guys are on a roller coaster. How you enjoying the ride? It's magical, sweet ones, and you're really finding that more and more magic is going to be bathing you and coming in. You know, sweethearts, you have lived 1,000 lives, and you have died 1,000,000 deaths. And how is that, may you ask? How is it we've only lived 1,000 lives but yet we have died 1,000,000 deaths? Because death isn't real. And you're finding that out, and you're coming into that frequency, and you're coming into that understanding, and you're coming into the beauty and the magic of what love is, and you're remembering that. And deep within you, there is a passion. Good morning, Dev, Nikki, Jude, Jody. Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. Deep within you, there is a passion that you think you have found, and yet is about to be magnified and exploded within each of you in a way that's going to... Wow, look at that butterfly. Incredible. Sorry. That is going to magnify everything that you hold within your heart. And it's going to manifest it into the physical. And this passion has nothing to do with anything or anyone outside of you. But it is going to show you just exactly what you are here in this moment for. And it is going to bring, and you're really going to see this starting to manifest, sweet ones. And your realities are changing, and they're changing in the most miraculous, magnificent, exquisite ways. And as you release these hidden shadows that are coming to the forefront right now, it is going to free you in ways that you can only dream about, is what freedom is. And so really allow for those that are finding themselves back into a space of what the hell is going on here. Know that your tower is falling. And the tower, when the tower falls, it's not just what we think is crucial or excruciating or anything in the moments. This is a tower. And this tower is going to transform your life in ways you have no idea. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Nita. So really allow yourselves to be present with whatever it is, and know, sweet ones, when you empty your cup, it will be filled. And that's what these energies are doing right now. So for those of you who are messaging me, and for those who have commented when I asked how you're all doing with these scorpion energies, know that you're at the threshold. And this is the last of that really heavy stuff that you have to let go of. That is of a dual creation. So you can step into the beauty and the magnificence and the peaceful and the serenity and the ecstasy of contrast. And good morning, Kat. Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. And so really allow yourselves to really be present and just release. Acknowledge what's coming up. Become aware of it and allow it to expand you in ways that have not been presented for you in these frequencies that are giving you this opportunity. And remember, the higher in frequency you go, the deeper into the depths of the chambers of your heart you go. And all is love. And yes, there is a return point, and you've reached that return point, and now you're just, what's coming up, you're, again, like I said yesterday, your spirit and your soul has made the choice to be worthy. And so anything that is not of those frequencies of worthiness that you have now declared for yourself are coming up to be released, because you have chosen to be worthy again. You have given yourself permission to be worthy and embrace that worthiness and that deserving of all that you are, and excuse me, and all of your gifts and blessings that are your divine birthright. And by giving yourself that permission, by allowing yourself to be open to receive now everything that is not at that frequency of openness to receive, if you will, is presenting itself for you to release. To make room for the blessings, excuse me, the magic and the miracles and the gifts that are your divine birthright. So really allow yourselves to love whatever arises, to love your way through this, and know that it is going to ignite the passion deep within you, that light and that love in sacred marriage, and it is going to magnify it and deliver it and manifest it into the physical for you. And you're really going to start seeing this more and more and more, and the more you can allow yourselves to release this, which is presenting itself, and understand that that is what is holding you back from fully embracing and stepping into your power, is the physical vessel is now coming into harmony with your worthiness. And the physical plane will match that frequency as it continues to morph into all that is already. These are magical times, sweet ones. These are truly, truly magical times. So for some of you, I know you're having a really, really challenging time with what is being presented. And no, this too shall pass. But it is here just showing you those doubts and those insecurities and everything, presenting itself, showing you where your vessel is just attempting to release the frequencies of unworthiness and undeserving and distrust and abandonment and rejection. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing, because now you are accessing so much more light information. You are over 2/3 of the way anchored into your light bodies, and the more light, because all light is information. All dark is condensed light, which is lack of information. And right now you are really going to see an acceleration of light encoded filaments being anchored in through your vessels, and a whole lot of light information that is going to explode in a very glorious way for each of you and for each of us. And so really just, reach out if you need to reach out, sweet ones. We're here. We're in this together. We're going through it. We all are. And again, remember, sweethearts, you're disconnecting yourself from a 3D collective. And the more you release of that 3D collective and tap in and tune into and anchor into the higher frequency collective, again, there's going to be things you have to release, and that's what's coming up. So just, find the magic in it, find the beauty, keep yourself in the present moment, and know we got this. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Ellen, Monica. Big hugs and blessings, Rana. Big hugs and blessings, guys. Monica, allow whatever arises. My goodness, lately I felt sick of it all, guilty, worthless, etc. Perhaps it's because the opposite takes place. Monica, this is a dance of polarity. The answer is always in the polarity, beautiful. And that's why, I'm always telling you guys, it's never what the physical presents. Never. The physical is there to play a role. The physical is there to trigger the role. The physical is there to show us ourselves. To show us, because your outside world dictates how you feel within, or what is hidden within that you have not become aware of. And when you can, and remember, the higher in frequency you evolve to and we rise to, sweethearts, the deeper into the depths of our heart. And we have graduated. We're in the middle of transport. We're in the middle of fully anchoring the new into the physical plane. And is there an ending? Well, yes and no. There's an ending in the sense that I love you too, Donna. How you doing, beautiful? Big hugs and blessings to you and Adele. So is there an ending to, is it ever going to be over? Well, yes, it is already over, sweet ones. You've graduated. You're no longer on your necessarily spiritual journey, harmonizing and neutralizing back to 0 point your spiritual childhood karmic energies. You've done that. You've graduated. You're masters now. You're no longer the student, if you will, the spiritual child student, if you will. That was the 3D matrix. Now you're the masters. Now you are building and creating. You have laid the foundation. Now, by building and creating on the foundation that you have laid, now, by doing so, that's what's anchoring it into the physical. And so, just like a teeter-totter, you guys got to work together, within and without, and that's what's happening, because you've been working together within. You're in that sacred marriage, you're in that sacred union within yourselves, and so now, I'll liken it to a new trinity being ignited, if you will. Do all of this transformation can affect my earthly body? Yes, your earthly body is having to adjust to the light-encoded filaments that are bathing this planet, that are bathing you, which is activating your cellular DNA, that is activating you from a 2-strand DNA to a 12-strand DNA, back to your original soul blueprints. The original soul blueprints are in place and activated, anchored, activated, and engaged. And so, in your cosmic hearts are leading you, beautiful. And so, anything that happens within will happen without, including your vessel. Your vessel is going from a carbon-based vessel of flesh to a light crystalline diamond light body, and your vessel is being rewired, recalibrated, it is being upgraded. The more you integrate and anchor in the light that is coming in, you are not only anchoring in your diamond crystalline light body, if you will, into tangible form, but you are also releasing everything you release as far as hurt, anger, fear, emotions, anything of the old, anything that has kept your heart bound, kept the walls and chains up around your heart to stop you from trusting another, from stop you from loving unconditionally. Anything that is condensed light in your physical vessel is coming up to be purged. And how you purge it is through disease, is through illness, is through emotions, is through skin rashes, is through aches and pains. And, you stub your toe. Well, that's a wake-up call from your spirit. Pay attention. You get stung by a bee. That's your feminine aspect saying, hey, wake up, stop ignoring me. You're out of balance. I mean, everything is rising to a higher frequency, including the physical vessel. So yes, and the higher in frequency you rise to, your diet will continuously change. You will continuously go through different aspects of your physical vessel. Sometimes it'll be on the right side, sometimes it'll be on the left side, sometimes it'll be the whole vessel. And that's why it's so necessary to ground, because all the light encoded filaments that are coming in, beautiful, are being integrated. That's when you guys feel really, really blissful. Once it's integrated, now it has to be anchored in, because that is the new information that's coming in. That's how you are building and creating on the foundational grid of the 5D earth that has been laid and anchored in and activated, or the New Jerusalem starship, earthship, however you want to look at it, from whatever lens. And so, Nita, it's really helpful to understand that on the spiritual journey, you go through periods, beautiful, of weight gain and of extreme weight loss. Now, again, this goes into light is expansive and dark is condensed light. And so as this light comes in, like in your religious text, I've stated this before, Anita, your body is becoming lighter than a feather. In your religious text, it states that your body will become lighter than a feather. That is what is occurring. You're anchoring in the light. So the more light you anchor in, literally, the lighter you become. That's how you rise. Because the only thing that's anchoring you down in gravity, in carbon-based flesh vehicles, bodies, is the fear that you hold within your vessels. Your heart is becoming lighter than a feather. Your heart is weighed against a feather. The more you release from your heart, the hurts, the binds, the change, everything that keeps you from love being open and in separation, everything that keeps you in separation is coming up. It has to be released because it's all of the old. And so when you bring this light in, it expands your vessel. That's why so many of you feel chest pains, you get loss of breath, you wake up feeling like you're having a heart attack or something like that. It's because light expands. And when we get these, a whole lot of these, and it's been nonstop now, of light coming in, so many of us, I've gained like 25 pounds. So many of us have gained weight, and that's because we have taken in a whole lot of light. We're anchoring in our diamond crystalline light bodies into the physical plane of the new grid. And it expands. Your chest cavity has to expand to fit the expansion of your heart, because your heart has expanded from its light. Remember, dark or darkness is the only thing it is lack of light. It is condensed light or lack of information. The more information that it takes in, the more light, the more it will expand. Yes, it is exhausting. Carla, I hope that makes sense. Now, Anita, it's also helpful to understand that once you have fully anchored that in, and that's, again, the necessity of grounding, beautiful, walking barefoot on the grass for 45 minutes, your feet have chakras. And that is how you anchor, literally, all these lights that are coming, this light information that's coming in, is through the ground and into the Earth star. And when you do that, you will find When you're in an integration period, you gain weight, you expand. When you are in an anchoring space, if you will lose the weight. And right now your bodies are going through a lot of etheric surgeries, your recalibrations, upgrades, rewiring per your soul's permission. And with that, the higher in frequency you go, age reversal is activated. The higher in frequency you go, the more you are morphing and transforming your body back into the perfection of that of the form of which you chose to look like, which is the bodies you are in. However, your bodies are morphing and transforming into perfection. In other words, you're not going to have scars, you're not going to have wrinkles, you're not going to have varicose veins, you're not going to have fat rolls unless you have chosen for those descriptive things to be part of your vessel. And again, as within, so without. As without, so within. And the only thing, and that's what separation is. And we're leaving that frequency. We've left that frequency. You're just releasing it now. And the only difference is before you're above and below, you're within and you're without, we're separated. Now remember, you've come back into sacred marriage, into sacred union within. So now you are rising or evolving, however you want to look at it, into the higher frequencies where heaven and earth are no longer separated. Within and without are no longer separated. They are not showing you two different things anymore. And that's the space you're coming into. How you feel, what is in your heart, is going to manifest into the physical. The out and the in are going to look, see, feel, and be the same. They will not be in separation. Heaven above is no longer going to be above, and below is no longer going to be a below. They're going to be together as one, hand in hand, side by side, in union, in marriage, whatever descriptive label you need to give those two essences. Absolutely, Kel, it's a reflection. But that is the space Earth itself is going into. And you, humanity, me, you, us, all of us, we, however you want to look at it, are either rising to meet her or we're not. And those of us watching this video and listening to me, we've all made the choice to rise with her. And that is where she's going. She's already there. It's just manifested into the physical. Gaia is golden. She's already in union. She's already married. She's already had more kids, more planets, more universes, whatever you want to look at it. She shed her skin. She's golden. See, my hair even shows it. But it's manifesting into the physical right now. And so there is not going to be an above and below anymore. That separation we have left. That is the severing of the worlds. That is what is coming up for you to release and say, no more. It's not part of my world anymore. And that's where we're at. And that's what we're moving into. And that is the passion that is going to be ignited, especially after the full moon on the 4th of November. You're going to find a passion within you that has been directed to your kids, that has been directed to your art, that has been directed to your music, that has been directed to your families. Whatever way you hit another person, a twin flame or whatever, wherever you have directed that passion. And you're going to find that passion has nothing to do with none of that. That passion is going to become your very breath. And you've only had a taste of that elixir. But that elixir is going to become your coffee, your tea, your orange juice, your water in every given moment. And that's where we're moving into. And that's the space that we're always saying, stay right here, guys. It don't matter what's occurring in this outside world. It don't matter. Yes, I understand people are going through hard times. I get that. I'm not saying not be compassionate. I'm saying reach out. But what I'm saying is, all the corruption and everything else, let it go. Don't engage in it. It's not worth it because it's not going to be a part of our reality. That separation will not be present on the New Jerusalem. And that's where we're going into. We're going into where there is no separation. Heaven and hell do not exist. Good, bad do not exist. Light, dark do not exist. Skin color does not exist. I mean, it exists, but it's not acknowledged as being separated. So, we're called rainbow for a reason. Sure in the hell not because of our skin color, or our hair color, or our fat rolls, or anything else. And that's, good morning, Corinne. Good morning, sister friend Marie. Good morning, Suzanne. So that's where we're moving into. Did that answer your question, Nita, as far as why you're gaining weight and stuff? And you're going to find, sweet ones, that the more you can stay and trust thyself, honor thyself, know thyself, the more heaven and earth, above and below, within and without, are not going to be any different. Because what you see with your physical eyes and what you see with the eyes of your heart, the eye of God, are going to look, seem, see, feel, taste, touch, be the same thing. There's not going to be any more separation. There is no separation right now at all anyways. Your perceptions have been expanded to 12 plus lens. And you're releasing the single lens that you've been in. And truly, it's all a frequency. And when you can see, and when you know, because your spirits, I'm telling you, sweethearts, and every single one of you can resonate with me on this. I've watched you guys make comments and everything else about it. We feel it. It's here. Our spirits are defying everything that the physical world is showing us. And our spirits are saying no. Heaven's here. This is a playground. The abundance is here. The energy's here. It's all right here. It is only those last little bit of the physical vessel that has not anchored into the full light body, which will be done by the end, beginning middle of December, if not sooner, for many of you. I'm not trying to pinpoint it into a time frame. But your spirit knows. Your spirit knows you're right on the threshold, and it is only that which is being released of your unworthiness that is holding you back from your abundance, from your divine birthrights, from you stepping into your full power. That is what you're releasing right now. And that is magical. And the more you can just not engage in it in an emotional frame of mind from a space of fear and judgment, the quicker you're going to release it. Carla, why do I fight it? Because, Carla, that is the mind programming of polarity, of duality. You're going from a polarity of duality to a contrast polarity, if that even makes sense. I love you too, Adela. Have a great day, beautiful. Big hugs and blessings. And so, why do you fight it? The only thing that is being fought is you have been reprogramming, we have, our minds. The reprogramming from a space of victim mentality and a victim mode that we have been trapped and enslaved in for millennium of years. And it's those doubts and those insecurities and that resistance that is showing you that you have to have the strength and the courage to step into it. Because what you resist persists. And what you resist is just showing you a fear. A fear that is untrue. A fear that is not legitimate. A fear that is a wall or a bind or a chain or whatever you want that is still around a part of your heart or a chamber of your heart. And the best, what I would encourage you, beautiful, Carla, before you go to bed, I would sit there and I would speak out loud to yourself while you look in your eyes, look in a mirror and look into your eyes. And I would sit there and say, I love you. And I give you permission to release that which no longer serves us. And I ask you to hold my hand through it and make it as graceful and gentle and easy as possible. And the first thing in the morning when you wake up, beautiful, I would sit there and I would say, I thank you, Creator. I thank you, team. I thank you, self. This is going to be a magnificent day, and we're going to do this hand in hand. And the more you listen to and the more you trust your instincts, you trust the inner guidance, the thoughts that pop into your head after you ask for that guidance and throughout your day, and really observe the messages that are coming to you, beautiful, you will find that which you resist will become very graceful for you to enter into that door of that chamber of fear. And you won't resist it anymore. Because when you give yourself permission to release it, you're giving and you speak it out loud. Your vessel, your conscious state is hearing it. And therefore, it will take and come into harmony, and it will work in harmony with your subconscious to change the physical manifestation. How you doing, Kaz? How you doing, Brenda? Fear, false evidence appearing real, absolutely. And it's becoming more graceful and more gentle for us, sweethearts. I mean, now you've been in, and for those just awakening, coming into that space of where you're starting to recognize it when you're starting to feel it before, to where it doesn't even have to come into a physical presentation. You can command your vessel. I'm doing good, Brenda. I've been going since like 5 o'clock this morning, nonstop, between phone calls and guidance calls and doing our love, our universal brothers and sisters love blessings of gratitude. Melissa's been trying to set up that page. I've invited a bunch of you, so Melissa's been working on that, and so we've been busy, and it's beautiful. It's magical, you know. People say we live in La La Land. Well, La La Land is our reality, and that La La Land is being anchored here. And life is a dance, sweet ones. It's a sublime. It's poetry. It's sublime poetry, music, sound. I mean, no matter how bad things seem, life is a dance of magic and gratitude. And when you can be grateful for the experience, no matter how your mind has seemingly perceived it to be and played out in the physical reality, if you will, all of that's leaving. It's being transformed, you know, and that condensed light information that we no longer leave is leaving, and that condensed light information that we do need, that holds wisdom, is being expanded to where we can now incorporate it and integrate it and transform it into a higher frequency to where it will benefit us. So, you know, it's never just a single thing. I am good, Kazar. How are you, sweetheart? Big hugs and blessings. Did that help you, Carla? I hope that answered your question. If not, message me and I'll go and I'll assist you even in further, if you will. And so, just be patient with me, because I get flooded with messages all the time, and I try to answer as many as I can. And for those that are just messaging me saying hi, sexy, and all this, please know that you'll be on the bottom of my list, because, you know, I prioritize it by in having a conversation about my sexiness. Well, that has to take. Every other things take precedence over that, so please don't get offended that I don't answer those messages. It's just that there's some other people that could use my help and my assistance versus talking about my sexiness, if you will. I love you all. I bless you all. I really do. And I understand I'm sexy, and I appreciate that for you recognizing that, but please don't take offense that I don't message you back. Katie, hello, what are your thoughts on feeling like you have two heartbeats? Feeling of heart almost separated and beating out of sync and then in sync. You're doing so well. Thank you for all that you do. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. You humble me, and I am so grateful that you do. Truly. My greatest passion, I have two passions in my life, and one is outside of me, and his name is Mark. And then one is inside of me, and his name is Angel. And, you know, that's my heaven and earth manifesting into the physical. And you all fit into those two categories, because I just love you all. And him, her, you're all the same to me. Well, you're not, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? I don't find myself separated from you guys. I just don't. So, I mean, I sit there and say you, and then I go back and I listen to my own video, and it's like talking to myself. And the reason I go back and listen to my own video is because, again, I walk my talk. I always sit there and encourage you guys to talk out loud to yourself, so your conscious mind and your subconscious are hearing it at the same time. And so I always go back and listen to my own videos, so my conscious self can hear, my vehicle, if you will, my spacesuit can hear and incorporate it and integrate it and harmonize it at the same time with my subconscious, if you will. How you doing, Jamie? Big hugs and blessings. I'm doing great, sweetheart. Big hugs and blessings to you. And I like positive, no negative. Well, Kazar, you can't have one without the other, you know? And that's one of the biggest distortions that in the spiritual groups and on the spiritual journey that we have to face. And we all go through. It's a space we all go through. And so many got trapped into that, oh, just be positive, don't worry about the negative. There is no such thing as negative. It's all the same. Have you ever... All right, here's a good one. Let me... Kazar, thank you. This is for you. I dedicate this for you. I dropped my phone. So let's look at it like this. How many people have cell phones? Raise your hands, and I know every single one of you guys have either had a cell phone or have one. I know you're all raising your hands. I know it. All right. So you look at the battery of your cell phone. You know, you have to have a negative and a positive charge in order for it to run. You know? So you can't have one without the other. You can't have creation without all of it. We all fit together. It's all interconnected, you know? And you reach that frequency where there is no separation, sweet ones, and that's where we're coming into. And you're going to find that stuff's going to leave. Your words are changing. You're going to find you're not using contractions anymore. You're going to find that you go to say something and you stop, and it's like, because words, the English language, any language, just doesn't do justice anymore. We are turning into a telepathic, intuitive reality. And so words don't do justice. You really have to just really feel into everything now. Nita, as far as your question about 2 heartbeats, again, your heart is expanding. And, oh, look at a golden butterfly. How pretty is that? And gratitude, my beloved spirit. What you're describing is like an arrhythmia. And Kazar, it's a dance, honey. And it's a beautiful, magical dance. And so the heart, you're going to find, and Nita, sweetheart, I really encourage you to go sit outside, lean up against a tree, sit by the water, and really communicate with your heartbeat. Communicate with your vessel. rather than put yourself in a space of questioning outside of yourself. And that can lead, because the human aspect, the human mind of us, our logic, has to play everything to death. It has to dissect everything, down to the smallest, minute piece of information that it can get. And all along the way, it will sit there while you're dissecting it. It's going to inject a lot more doubt and this and that and the other. Does that make sense, beautiful? See, and the reason I say that is, I'm going to read back to you what you wrote to me, okay? You said, yes, about heartbeat, it's a situation. I think about 0 point to balance it. If I go for meditation, I can feel my heartbeat different from left to right side in the body, so I do especially think about that. My heartbeat goes in unison, so after a few minutes, it's all synchronized. So ask yourself, go back to what you said that before, I'm trying to find it, where's that? Feeling of heartbeat separating and beating out of a sync and then in sync. Oh, that was Katie, I think, that said that was Katie, and Nita answered it. I got you. That's where I got mixed up. Okay, I got it. I'm straight. I'm clear. Forgive me. I got it. My screen is scrolling so fast. But really, if you go within, when something like that happens, guys, where you're feeling that heart arrhythmia, or you're feeling, now this has happened to a couple people that I know of. They have a disease, and they can literally feel their disease either growing when it comes out of remission. They can feel it, or just different things like that. And you're really coming into sensitivity to different things in your vessels, guys, and you're really going to hear your vessels communicate with you more and more. And so, Nita, that's why I say go within and really communicate with your heartbeat. You can, each of you, and if you've done this a couple times and it hasn't worked, then again, before you every time you go to sleep, whether it's a nap at night, whatever, you reset yourself. You recalibrate yourself. And so before you go to bed, you ask for that clarity, you ask for that download, you ask for that activation, whatever it is that you need. You want to speak to your liver, then you sit there and you say, liver, I would like you to communicate with me to where I become consciously aware and in tune with you, to where I can consciously communicate with you. And repeat that until, it may take one night, it may take a week. But repeat that to yourself until it is reprogrammed in there to where your physical vessel is in harmony with your spirit, and it will activate it. And you will find in your meditations, and you'll get to a space where you don't even have to go into a meditation. You will just come into the awareness of you feel something in your liver, or your urine is a little bit different, or whatever it may be that alerts you to something. Okay, why'd that thought pop into my awareness? And then you're able to go and say, okay, liver, run a scan. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Now, my vessel, all I do with my vessel, and I am unique in my own way, guys. And I've mentioned this many, many times for the past few years. I call my vessel, I'll sit there and I'll go in and it's like, okay, Zoe, run a scan on me. And I can run a scan on my vessel, and I can tell you if the cancer is expanding, if it's still in remission. I can tell you if my magnesium's low, if I'm dehydrated, if my iron's low, whatever it may be. And it will come into your awareness. And the more you communicate with your vessel, remove the emotional attachments you have to your vessel. Oh, you're so ugly, you're fat, you're this, you're that, and the other. Remove all those beliefs and those attachments and everything else. Clear, cancel, and delete that. Don't take that personally on me. Thank you. And you release those emotional attachments to your vessel, and you allow your vessel to become the temple that it is. And you love your vessel regardless of what that temple is. How many churches do you guys used to worship in that had cracks in their foundation or in their sidewalks, or, you know, they had scratches on their seats? You know, love it and you still loved it. Well, that's your vessel is your temple. It is your spacesuit, and you run it. And you're coming back into that awareness that you do run it, you do command it, that you are in charge of it, and it'll do you anything you want to say, and it'll protect you in any and every way, and it protects you by alerting you that something's off kilter. And the more you ask to communicate and to come into communication with your vessel will respond. You're more powerful than you realize, sweethearts. Okay, let's see here. What did I miss? It happened last night. As it did, it felt like someone else laid down into me, sunk into me, and their heart attached to mine above mine. Katie, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? You're going to... And if you don't, okay, here you go. You're merging. Remember, you're merging in you're in a timeline bifurcation, guys. You're collapsing those timelines and disintegrating those aspects of self that you no longer need, that are of a lower frequency that you have put to rest because you've integrated it into your temple, into your soul. It's a fragment of your soul that you have brought back into unity. And so, Katie, like with you what is occurring is your past timelines, your future timelines are all merging, collapsing, integrating into the present moment now. Remember, everything has been in separation, including aspects of yourself, and that's why perception is yours and yours alone. Just because somebody pisses you off, it's still your perception. They could be fine. They could be like me right now, and I can piss you off, and you're the only one angry. So perception's yours. And your perception shows you where you're in separation. And remember what I said at the beginning of the video, guys. That separation is no more, and it's manifesting as no more into the physical. This is what you all have worked for. This is what you have asked for. This is what you have pleaded for. This is what you have dreamed of. This is what you have gone through hell for, guys. And we've been in hell for so long that it just seems extremely magical and mystical and out of reach and this, that, and the other. But it's becoming what the human aspect defines as real, authentic, genuine, tangible. And again, we're moving into a time and space of no separation. There is no more above and below. There is no more within and without being separated. What you feel inside will immediately manifest into the outside. And what you see on the outside is a direct reflection of what you see on the inside. And if your heart is... If you have released the condensed light of your heart, the chains and the walls and the binds, then your existence is going to be more and more magical and more paradisical. Did I say that right? And the quicker the miracles will unfold. And that's why we've always said your journey is within. The outside world is just a tool. And so heaven is manifesting because all of those layers between heaven and earth are no more. They've been dissolved. They've been zero-pointed. So there's no choice but to have heaven on earth manifest into your realities. And the quicker you release that which is not of those frequencies, the quicker it'll manifest for you. And we're bathing this planet with a whole lot of light from a whole lot of star galaxies, a whole lot of different planets, a whole lot of different light beings, benevolent, illumined beings of light, and elders. We're bathing this planet with a whole lot to make sure it happens quicker. Any resistance is your own. And your soul is telling you There's no longer to resist it. Give yourself permission to receive it. And that is how powerful we are. You look in the past 5 years, you go back just the last 2 years, sweet ones, look how far we've come. Sure, the outside world doesn't necessarily seem it, but observe yourself. Observe your life. You know, I've done that, and I'm just like, you know, it's just amazing how far I have brought myself. You know, people still think I live in La La Land, but do you know how many people do not feel the magic that I feel? Do you know how many people cannot find the magic in what they seemingly say is a dark experience? And I know many of you can resonate with that. And you know, to me, it's just, that's when I start to get depressed, when those feelings of insecurity or hopelessness or whatever come up, that's the dark you fight, guys. It's nothing outside of you. It's your own. We just like to blame it on the outside because that's how we've been taught to do, to respond to things. That it's outside circumstances. It's our own darkness coming up, our own shadows. And it's okay. You have to love your darkness as much as you do your light. You have to love the information of the dark, of the condensed light, as much as you, the lack of information, as much as you do the light information. Because you wouldn't have the light information if you didn't have the darkness. And the darkness is where your glory begins. Because it's when you're in the throes of darkness that you're nearest your light. Because it is in your greatest moment when you feel the strongest. Your greatest strength is your greatest weakness. Because when you feel strong and you feel courageous, you get comfortable in that. Because everything is blissful, everything is this, everything is that, everything is perfect. And you get comfortable, and the second you get comfortable is the second you start dishonoring yourself. And that's why things are always shook up. That's why you always have that contrast. You've just been taught, we've just been taught to deal with it in an unhealthy way. And that unhealthiness is what has kept us trapped. And so now we're coming into a space where you're not seeing it as you're not viewing duality and polarity as a bad thing. You're coming into a space of neutrality where you're seeing it as contrast. You're not giving it labels and definitions. And you're seeing the beauty in both. We've been taught to label it black and white, light and dark, but there is none of that. That was just definitions to help us on our journeys to return us to the wholeness and the purity and the innocence of all that we are. And absolutely, and Cal says, and the things we can tap into nowadays is so magical. And so the more you can release of that duality mindset and reprogram it. Because what is in here is real. And what is out without is an illusion. And on your spiritual journey and in the space we're at right now, we're removing the illusion and we're anchoring in a true reality to where the outside is no longer an illusion because it's mirrored. The within and the without are no longer separated. The heart and the light are no longer separated. The light won't have those frequencies to constantly keep it in dimness. Because that's that, remember I said at the beginning of the video, you're about to come into a space where the passion of light within you is going to explode in such magnificence. It's going to knock your socks off. That the logical mind can't wrap its mind around it. And when that happens for each of you individually, you will have stepped into the full frequencies of the New Jerusalem, the fifth dimensional grid. And you're going to find before the end of this year, we will all be fully anchored into our light bodies. We're almost there. And the second we get there fully, and it'll be fully activated when manifesting the physical, the planet goes into her full light body, and she's almost there too. That's why we're almost there, because we chose to rise with her. And she's already sitting in the frequencies of heavenly paradise. And we're still on her, so we have no choice but to experience it. So know you got this. Now which is arising, it's just there to be released. Because it's not part of your heavenly paradise that you have anchored in. And on that note, sweet ones, I love you. We got this. Feel the magic and know all is perfect. All is of perfect design. And as you release more of the frequencies of unworthiness and undeserving, you're going to find yourselves receiving and opening yourselves and allowing yourselves to receive the magic and the miracles and the blessings of our divine birthright. And the more that you allow yourselves to receive our divine birthright, the more you're going to anchor it in even stronger and more powerful. And the more each of us do that, we'll light up the grid. And we want to light up the new grid. Because now we can. There's enough of us anchored into the New Jerusalem that there's no holding us back now. And literally, it's just waiting on us. And so today is the last day of the gateway for us to make that evolutionary quantum leap forward individually of stepping into the new in whatever way that may be. Whether that is getting the courage up to say, and it's only the courage enough just to say, I surrender, or whether it is to take that and say, okay, let's do this. And you're taking that leap of faith into something that you want to build, whether it's write a book or whether it's to go ahead and put a song out to the public for the first time and you're nervous, whatever it may be, no matter how big, how small, give yourself permission to take that leap. And that's all it comes down to, sweet ones. It has nothing to do with a twin flame or anybody outside of you. It's you giving yourself permission, the feminine aspect within you and the male aspect within you, to make love together, to make harmony. The only resistance is the resistance between yourselves. And only you can give yourselves, the masculine and the feminine, permission to copulate and to come together as one. And to merge into each other. And that's part of what Katie was it Katie who was experiencing that? Feels like somebody's coming into her because you're merging all of those essences. The different aspect essences of the different timelines, past and future, into the present now. The aspect essence, parts of the essence that you need to carry forward with you, and releasing the parts of those aspects that you don't need to carry forward. Heaven on earth is a choice, and right now, we've all made that choice to manifest it in the physical. So release what is not heavenly paradise for you. And you'll light up the grid even more and manifest it that much more quicker. Because the more you can anchor yourself and engage in the higher frequencies and keep yourself in those higher frequencies, the more you're anchoring them in. And the more you're lighting up the new grid. And the more you light up the new grid individually, we light it up, the new collective, we light it up even more powerful. And right now, as you release your connection to the old collective, you're allowing yourself to rise and tune into and anchor into the new collective. And the more you individually anchor into the new collective, it makes it more powerful. And as with anything, just like with a car, you add more gas, you go faster. That's why we keep saying stay right here. And that's why we're on a new roller coaster. And right now, we don't know how this roller coaster ride's going to turn out. Scary, fun, whatever. It's unknown. And we're in the unknown. And that's where our passion ignites, because when we're in the unknown, anything goes. We can create anything we want. And we've all chosen to create it in peace and love. So play. And light up this grid. The more we play in the new and stay in the frequencies of the magic of all that we are, the faster you'll rise and the faster you'll manifest, and the faster and quicker and with more grace and gentle and ease that above and below are no longer separated. They're one and the same. And your within and your without are within the same. The magic and love and everything you feel in your heart will manifest right here. It's just all a matter of meeting it, guys. And right now, that meeting it is no longer a climb to the stairway of heaven. Because it's right here, right now. It's just a frequency we're anchoring and engaging in. So the more we do it hand in hand together, individually and together, the more we light it up. So let's light up this earth ship. Let's dance. I love you guys. Have a magical, magical Wednesday. And feel the magic. Turn up the music. Let's dance this earth ship. Let's rock this earth ship. Bye, guys. I love you. Big, big, big hugs and blessings. See you later.